You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Wilson, Nicola versus Eddy.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Wilson, you're in the middle of a paternity triangle, caught between two men you slept with, cousins, who grew up as brothers, two men who believe they fathered your 10-month-old son, Arrow. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nicola, you've always believed Arrow is your biological son, and you are here to prove that today because your whole family has come to love him as yours. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Eddy, you admit to sleeping with your cousin's fiance. You and your aunt contend you are Arrow's father and plan to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And for the record, these two young men are first cousins.
Yes, Your Honor.
And their mothers are identical twins.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I'm not sure how much looks is gonna play in this equation. So, Ms. Wilson, I want to ask you, how do we end up in a paternity dispute involving two cousins?
I messed up. I made a mistake. I'm here today to figure it out. I don't want the family feud going on anymore, and me exactly in the middle of it, my child in the middle of it. One night, there was a family get-together. There was alcohol involved. Cordell had been tired from work that day. He had work the next day, and he didn't want to drink. We had all gotten hot inside. Nathan and I went outside. I became very intoxicated, and he kind of like took care of me, and before it ended up, we were on a hay bale and we had sex.
Wow. Mr. Eddy, what is your recollection of this night?
I mean, I wish it wouldn't have happened because, you know, he's my cousin. She told me that I was really cute and she kissed me, and then we started walking to the hay bale and it just went from there.
So you had sex on this hay bale
Yes, Your Honor.
outside of the house where your cousin was in there sleeping after work.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many times did you have sex that night?
Twice, Your Honor.
So is it safe to assume that it was unsafe sex?
Yes, Your Honor.
So no protection. What happens when you wake up the next day?
He went to work and we just kept it secret until the week.
So, Mr. Nicola, they admittedly kept it a secret.
Yes,
What was
sir.
your recollection of that night?
I came home from work. I dozed off on the couch, woke up. They were all outside. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I went out and told them it's time to come in because it was getting late. And I came in, I put everybody to bed, being responsible, because I had to get up early the next day. And I went and slept on the couch again, got up for work the next day.
And you had no idea that your cousin had had sex with your girlfriend out on the hay bale before you put them to bed?
No, Your Honor. He is my cousin, and I trusted her.
And it happened twice. It happened that night after Cordell had put us to bed.
Oh, after he put you to bed, you had sex again?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow. So how do you have sex with your first cousin's girlfriend?
To be honest with you, I wasn't really thinking that night. She told me also that they were on a break, that they weren't together at the time.
But it's still your cousin's girl. There's gotta be, they got guy code and girl code. Is there like a family code where it's like, even if you and your girl fall out, I'm your cousin. I'm not gonna sleep with your girl.
Yeah.
How did you even find out about this affair?
We went to the movies on October 13th, and Kayla told me to put the candy in her purse. I put the candy in her purse, I looked over, and they were holding hands. And
When you look over, your girlfriend is holding hands with your cousin.
yes, so I asked them if they had sex, And then she finally answered it. I told her I needed to go outside, take a breather, and I was honestly gonna hit Nathan. And she was like, no, you're gonna sit right here and finish this movie. So I just went over, I leaned over to the other side of the chair and I just sat there and finished watching the movie.
You gonna sit over here and finish watching this movie? Oh, really?
Your Honor, I didn't want to start an argument in the movies because there was other people and I wanted to be respectful.
Oh, you want to be respectful.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
Okay, so but I get it. You're saying I don't want to make a scene in here.
yeah.
All right. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. And so, Mr. Eddy, I have to ask you, what gave you the nerve, the gumption in the movies to reach over and hold Miss Wilson's hand basically in front of your cousin?
She told me we were in a relationship at the time. We were together until they moved away, which I honestly can't remember the month that was.
Oh, wait, after the night on the hay bale outside, you all continued to have sex, and so you thought y'all were together?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, it wasn't right after that. It was after I found out I was pregnant that we semi-made it official because we took
You
a break.
semi-made it official with Mr. Eddy?
Yes.
Hold on.
Well, there was more women that Cordell was talking to, so I figured that I would just let him have those women, and I would carry
Your
on,
Honor,
I guess.
that was after I found out that they had sex, so I kept talking to the other people.
I bet you did. I mean, this is just... So, take me to the point when you find out you're pregnant, Miss Wilson.
It was October 17th. I woke up that morning. Something literally just told me to take a test. So I did, and it came back positive. And I couldn't believe it at first because I had a miscarriage the beginning of that year with Cordell. Nathan was at the house, so I told Nathan first, and I asked him to come to the bathroom.
She was like in shock, like a shock yell, and I was like, okay. I went in there, she showed me, and I just become in complete, like, oh, you know, I'm a dad, first-time dad. And she said, well, I'm happy for you. She said, but let's figure out who it belongs to.
Oh.
That's always been my dream, to have a kid. And I told Kayla, well, once we started talking, that if I was going to have a baby, I wanted to have one with her. So that kind of made me think, you know, maybe.
So, Mr. Nicola, it's odd because we started with you. Now I feel like the whole tide is switched and now we're over with Mr. Eddy. But when did you find out Miss Wilson was pregnant?
The same day, I came home from work with my son, and she told him to tell me that there was a pie in the oven, and I asked her what kind, because I was hungry after work, and I didn't catch on.
Oh, you cooked? Oh, thank God you cooked. That's what you were thinking?
I didn't catch on. She showed me a pregnancy test from where we did have a miscarriage. I was happy for her.
Why are you emotional? What are you feeling, Mr. Nicola?
I just really want
You said you just really want...
Arrow to be mine.
Oh. The consequences, right? Isn't that one of the most important lessons we learn in life? Consequence.
And right now, I've seen everything with Arrow because I've been there the entire time.
And I'm sure this entire situation is just weighing on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's why we're here today. I messed up. I made a big mistake, and I really ruined a family. And I'm gonna be the first to call myself out because it wasn't right. And I just wanna figure it out. I know somebody's gonna get hurt today, and I'm sorry to everyone involved. But I just wanna get the story ended.
I appreciate your honesty. It's not easy to stand where you're standing either. And what I find so fascinating and hopeful at the same time is really a woman in your position. I mean, you really could have come up in here looking like Satan's sidekick. No, let's be honest.
But I deserve it. I did it, so I have to take control for it.
Well, and that's why we are here. In order to move forward, we have to see how we got here so that we won't go back there again, right?
Yep.
Can you take me to your pregnancy? Who went to the doctor's appointments? Because you all are living in one house. So who went to the first doctor's appointment?
For the first 10 weeks, both of them attended my doctor's appointments. They both were there to see my first ultrasound of the baby, to hear the heartbeat the first time. I knew I'd messed up, and I didn't want either one of them to miss out in case, whoever's it came back to be, which I believe it's Cordell's, but just in case, I didn't want to be the bad person and let Nathan miss out, which I've never tried to keep error from anybody.
And these are pictures of you with both men, Mr. Nicola on the left and Mr. Eddy on the right, during your pregnancy. I had never seen anything like this. What are you thinking, Mr. Eddy, at this time when all this is going on and you're going to doctor's appointments together, and what are you thinking?
Basically, I know that I messed up everything. Blood's thicker than water. I should have known that. I regret it. I love Kayla, don't get me wrong. But I shouldn't have done that to Cordell. And I take it back.
And I can see how emotional that makes you.
But then again, I kind of hope he sees because I did take advantage and step in between them. I shouldn't have done that.
You're a young man, but I think you stated that very clearly. On the one hand, you hope you are Errol's father because you want a son and you love the baby.
Yes, Your Honor.
But on the other hand, you hope it's your cousin because you know you did the wrong thing.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this won't be a constant reminder to him of the wrong you did.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think you summed that up. So as you look at these pictures of you holding Errol, what do you think?
Well, I see a lot of my features, but I see a lot of Kayla in him too, though. So, I can't say for sure.
And Mr. Nicola, as you look at the pictures, what do you see?
He's got my ears and my brown eyes.
But this is hard because you all are family. Your first cousins and your mothers are identical twin sisters. The similarities would be there. I need to understand, how close in proximity were you intimate with both men, Mr. Nicola and Mr. Eddy?
I had sex with Nathan on October 7th. Before that, I had sex with Cordell. It was the 4th or the 5th of October.
So you actually submitted a calendar to the court. You had sex with Mr. Eddy on October 7th. Your doctor's appointment was the week of the 30th, and you were told you were 4 weeks pregnant. Mm-hmm. Your doctor then gives you a conception date around October 7th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which would point to Mr. Eddy. But because you just said you were intimate with Mr. Nicola 2 or so days before, we're still in the window.
Yes, Your Honor.
I get you would still want to be in the relationship with Mr. Nicola if you want it, but are you just saying you believe he's the father because you want the relationship with him? Is it just something pulling you in that direction because that's what you want, or do you?
No, I looked it up, and there's like a window of like 5 days and like your conception that you're fertile and you ovulate and stuff, and so I'm going based on that.
Your Honor, that's another reason why I believe 100% that he's mine.
So you feel like when you look at the dates, that leads right to you,
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
7th.
Yes, Your
How
Honor.
about you, Mr. Nicola? I mean, if you had sex with her 2 days before.
That's why I was up in the air with it. It's 50-50.
50-50.